Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing leasing here in Thailand. I thought of making this video after reading a recent article from the Pattaya Mail, that's pattayamail.com. Article is titled, Foreigners in Thai Law, the Changing Pattaya Scenario. Quoting directly, thanks to the massive building programs in Pattaya over the same period, there's a lot more property for sale. Since foreigners can own condominium units but not land, they often establish a company to buy a house. One of the problems here is the use of Thai nominees who have no connection with the foreign buyer, who will own at least 51% of the shares. When the foreigner dies or wishes to sell the company, the cooperation of the nominees is required by law and they are certain to demand their percentage share. Well, let me just stop there. It's generally speaking never a good idea to try and circumvent the restriction on foreign property ownership in Thailand by utilizing one of these companies that basically operates in color of law. Okay? Now, we've discussed this in videos before. There are certain scenarios. For example, if you have a Thai spouse where maybe you're in business together, you've set up a shop and you own a shop house or something like this, there's certain scenarios where it may be optimal for a foreigner to be involved in a company that does own some property. But those are going to be few and far between. And quite frankly, again, they make sense to the, if you will, insofar as, again, if you own it with your wife, that makes some degree of sense. Again, if you're just using a company to circumvent the rules on foreign land ownership in Thailand, you're going to find yourself with some real problems. And it's also worth noting, Thai nominees are explicitly illegal in Thailand under the Foreign Business Act. It's just written black and white. Quoting further, when the foreigner dies or wishes to sell the property, the cooperation of the nominees is required by law and they are certain to demand their percentage share. Our general advice if setting up a company to buy property is to, quote, keep it in the family and avoid including strangers. Well, my advice generally is to just avoid it, if at all possible, because there's better ways to do it, which are, quoting further, or take out a lease rather than purchase. People always sort of just dismiss this, but if you really want the locked in, sort of straight up best method of utilizing property in Thailand, leasehold does it. It's explicitly authorized under the Civil and Commercial Code. Foreigners are allowed to lease, and your rights are unfettered once you're leasing. If you have a registered lease, it can be up to 30 years here in Thailand. In many ways, that's the way to handle these things. And oftentimes, I think trying to play all these games and do all this color of law stuff, I think most foreigners either are spinning their wheels or putting themselves in a position where they could be a position that could operate to their detriment in the long term here in the Kingdom of Thailand.